if you got a girl, don't mean no disrespect, but thoughts of you rule my world. I even dream of you. Hi everyone, welcome to Happy Hour Talks. My name is Ruth.
And I'm China.
In today's episode, we are going to talk about the rise of nepotism within the Black community, Black influencers, and Black celebrities. So, I was first introduced to nepotism in college when I found out that our head coach for our men's basketball team, his son was playing for the men's basketball team. So at first I felt really upset until years later we started seeing more Black celebrities, kids benefiting off of their parents' names, and then my mindset started to change a little bit. But how do you feel about nepotism, China?
So, definitely love that Black people get to benefit from nepotism, like in general. But I just think about the people who will like never have access, no matter how much education they get, how much they level up, because they don't have those connections. They don't know the right people. I just kind of sometimes feel, and hell, that's me. I'm like, I have to try to network and get in with the right people, but I just sometimes feel sad, I guess, in those instances for those types of people, because even though it's beneficial, especially for Black people, as far as like equity or equality or whatever, I know it does hurt a lot of us.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're starting to see nepotism across many industries within the Black culture, from music industry to film to sports. So
Hmm.
just to name a few and not calling people out, we're starting to see nepotism with LeBron and Bronny,
Hmm.
Deion Sanders and his son Shador. And when it comes to music, people like Christian Combs and Diddy and all those types of celebrities. So we are starting to see more being prevalent or being more prevalent within the Black community, but in other groups of people, we've been seeing this for a long time, but
For
now
sure.
the Black folks are tagging along. So
Hmm. Just thinking about Lori Harvey and Steve Harvey, for example, compared to like LeBron and Bronny. I think people argue that the difference is that Bronny is athletically talented. People
mhm.
would say, "Oh, what is Lori's talent? Is she like a Black Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian? What's the talent?" So I know that like when it comes to like sports nepotism, or even someone like Kamora Lee Simmons, and not Ming, but Aoki. She ended up going to like Harvard or Yale or something. People would argue, well, she's actually really academically gifted. So, yeah, it's nepotism, but also she probably really could have got there on her own because she actually has what it takes. So, I noticed that there's always a lot more smoke for the people like Lori's or goodness, Magic Johnson's son, EJ. There's always a lot of more smoke for those types of people because people feel like, oh, they genuinely have nothing to go off of. What are they going to do? Make a makeup line, a skincare line? Like, okay, all celebrities,
Yeah.
kids do stuff like that. I was even thinking about OMG girls are starting to come back in the press a little bit with their recent lawsuit with MGA over what stealing the likeness of like OMG LOL dolls or whatever. And, just thinking about how Zonnique sort of kind of always got to have a music career because of her connection to T.I. and Tiny, despite people saying that she couldn't sing the greatest.
Yeah, for sure. And when it comes to these celebrity kids, I kind of feel for them a little bit because yes, they might be super talented, but we are harder on them. Like, oh, you only got to that position because your dad is this or your mom is this. So I feel like sometimes they do have to work as hard, but I just hope that they realize that their resources is super high than someone who lives in like Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I hope they realize that they have a lot of resources compared to the regular people out here, but I'm not trying to knock their hustle. I appreciate what they do. And yeah, just keep moving on from there.
For sure. Um, Not to tell a little bit of my business, I kind of go back and forth when it comes to nepotism. I see the good and I see the bad. But I mean, I even think about myself having connections to someone academically. I'll just say I have someone in higher education that I'm a family member with. And, people saw that and they were like, oh, that's your family member. Oh, you must have got that because of this. No, 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 no. You can look at my academics. That's what got me there, doing well in high school, not because I had this connection. Sure, we might have utilized them knowing this person or that person, but to even get my foot in the door, I had to be the one to do well academically. It wasn't me being family with this person and they were official here, that's what got me in the door. Is definitely me. So, I acknowledge my hypocrisy, but
Yeah.
I just want everyone, I just wish everything could be equal. I just wish everything could be equal.
Ooh, nothing's ever equal. And I feel like people realize that. But when I get older and when I start having kids, of course I want to put my kids on. Like, no doubt about it. So I'm just gonna have to think about like how do I want my kids to grow up? Am I gonna let them start from scratch or are they gonna have resources to help them along the way? I think it's a really difficult conversation to have, but I wonder if more parents are starting to have these kind of conversations.
For sure. As someone that, again, I just always see both sides. I feel like there's been times where I have gotten help, and then there's been times where I feel like I've really been left out to dry. And I used to always say to myself, oh, when I have a kid, oh, they're always going to be straight. They don't have to worry about it. If I am head of this or official of this, they'll get an internship because I'm getting them in the door. Like, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever to make it happen because I know what it feels like to have to, like, always advocate for yourself or not having that many people in your corner. So, yeah, I see why it's good. I definitely see why it's good, but I just think that it's always going to help if you actually have something to like base it off of or back it up.
Right. And now let's start discussing about taking opportunities from the less fortunate or people who don't have as many resources. So, going back to the basketball analogy, I'm going to be honest, when Brad Calipari was on the UK's men's basketball team, I felt a kind of way like
I
maybe
remember this.
like maybe someone who lives in not a nice neighborhood or their parents are working multiple jobs to get them through school and all of these stuff might have benefited more from the resources that Brad would have received. So like when it comes to certain nepotism kids, I kind of just get sad because I'm like, maybe they are taking opportunities from the less fortunate and like people who actually need it because your parents come from money already, you know? Why don't we spread this money across other industries or other families?
For sure, because it's like, okay, Brad played basketball. What were we expecting? Him to go to the NBA? Him to go overseas? Like, he took that spot for what? What is he doing now? Teaching, coaching at like a different school, D2 school or whatever? Like, think about that, what that spot could have meant for someone else, and then potentially doing well at UK and being able to go to the NBA and change their family's life. At the end of the day, Brad has generational wealth. I don't even know how much Calipari makes, but I'm like, at the end of the day, there's generational wealth. Like, that spot really could have been given to someone else that's having to get it out the mud anyway. Because people argue that student athletes, especially male student athletes, already have it made, especially if they're at a D1 school. But it still takes work to even get to a D1 school. Like, it's not just always placed in their lap. They really have to work. So, yeah.
Right.
But then it's hard because we acknowledge that we just said that if we have kids, we going to put them on period. So I get it.
Exactly. And I'm not coming for Brad or John Calipari because we are seeing this within Black celebrities as well. Like Deion Sanders, he is the head football coach, and now his son is the quarterback for his team at the University of Boulder. So it's just messy all around. We're seeing it through multiple races, multiple groups of people. But do you think in the future there's going to be like a cap or a limit or laws put in place to say, hey, you can't do this? Because I know, did you hear about the Olivia Jade? Do you know who Olivia Jade is?
Is that Becky from Full Houses?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have instances like that where there were like consequences that came out of it where Lori Loughlin had to go to jail for it. So I just wonder in the future if there's going to be more consequences or, reprimands for these type of behaviors that are going on.
I think, especially being in the age of social media, more people are going to get canceled. So it's always been a thing. It's always been prevalent. But as people are becoming more aware, say a girl goes on TikTok and makes a video. I was in a scholarship interview and such, who's the daughter of such and such, was in there, and she got it and I didn't, and I just know I was more qualified. Like, you're gonna see a lot more of that. So yeah, it's always gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like how academically someone might have done really well in college, but at the end of the day, the person who is going to conventions and conferences and networking is a person who might be on their way to making a six-figure, 2 or 3 years out of college. So it's all about networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So
Yeah. So from this episode, I feel like we don't even know a concrete answer. We're like, yes to like Nepo babies, but like just kidding. It's really a mess right now. But overall, though, I think we should just stick to like work hard and
mhm,
get the opportunities that you deserve. So we are seeing that from some Nepo babies, but other Nepo babies, they can sleep and make millions the next day. So
very true.
just interesting all around.
So let's talk about some of the output of the Nepo babies who like aren't um like we don't observe talent in them firsthand like we would with someone who's athletic.
Yeah.
So Lori Harvey's skincare or King Combs music, do you think that the quality of it is good?
Okay, so I haven't tried out Lori Harvey's skincare line, and I
Yeah.
wonder if other people have. Um, I don't know if she's marketing it correctly or
Mhm.
marketing it at all. I know I'm stuttering, but like for example, Hailey Bieber, she markets road crazy everywhere she goes. Road, 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 road. But I don't see that kind of vibe from Lori Harvey right now. I might just be missing it, but I'm not seeing it. And also, when it comes to King Combs, people are saying that he is like jacking his father's like style,
Mhm.
music type. So when it comes to some Nepo babies, I want them to be like super original, be themselves rather than copying a parent or
For
parent.
sure.
Yeah. What about you? What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely haven't used Lori's skincare. Definitely have listened to some of King Combs' music. I think it's not good at all. He relies very heavily on his father's songs, sampling those. I think that I get it. You see your parent, you grow up seeing your parent do this. You're like, it's only right that it runs in the family. But I'm like, it seems like all of Diddy's sons have like dabbled in music here or there. I'm like, one of you, well, Quincy acts, and that's good. That's a good avenue for him, I guess, especially like TV shows. He's a TV show type actor. But I'm like, okay, maybe one of you could get into YouTube, like DDG. Maybe you should be doing like streaming more. They probably already do, but just more. Maybe one of you needs to consider opening your own shoe store, if you all are fashionable. Like, it doesn't always have to be you need to be in the spotlight, you need to be on the stage. Because Quincy's music, I don't like that either. I know he tries to do music too. I'm like, it's not good, buddy. It's not
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Um, Someone like Lori, I don't connect skincare with her. I connect like cute outfits and working out. So like does anyone use workout tapes anymore? I
I
don't
don't
know if they do.
yeah, maybe subscription.
But
Yeah.
definitely a workout channel, Pilates series, something like that. Like, I also think sometimes with this nepotism stuff, like the marketing is not there. It's crazy. Y'all have access to like marketing people and you're still just like gung ho on putting this out or doing this. I'm like, you're not even marketing yourself the correct way. And also, what happened to like either just going to college or just picking up a trade? I guess they're rich, they don't have to pick up a trade, or just starting a business, but not necessarily like something that you just kind of throwing something at the wall to see if it sticks. Starting a business that you're actually truly invested in. I know that Lori Harvey used to like ride horses. Sure, maybe she doesn't like have that hobby anymore as far as being an equestrian, but like that would have been cool to see, you
Mhm.
know. at some point maybe she put out like a riding pants or something like that. There's just a major disconnect marketing wise, and I think that's a lot of times why everyone, especially like celebrities wise, we like roll our eyes when they like are doing this or doing that. It's not even that we don't want them to win, it's that it's not good. Random, someone who I feel like does make good music, Snoop Dogg's daughter. She makes music too. She sings, but she has a really nice voice and the music is like good. So
Yeah. Lastly, going off of what you just said, I wonder if there's pressure from their families to go into these industry or these types of creative avenues. So, like, I know a little, like, going back to basketball a little bit, LeBron has said it in the news, like, he wants to play with Bronny. He wants to be on the same team as Bronny. So, Bronny, as a kid, probably had this mindset, like, I have to make it to the NBA one way or another. I wonder if this is the same for people in other industries.
that's true. I'm like, isn't LeBron supposed to be retiring or something?
Yep, around 40-ish. So there's a
Okay.
few more years just to get that opportunity to. But
Child, I guess definitely. And I know with like men, especially, I feel like men will push their sons to like do the same thing that they did or support them more than sometimes their daughters. Just saying, just saying.
ooh, yeah. Yeah. But we, again, before we wrap up this episode, I just want to say we are seeing a rise in nepotism across many groups and races, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Like some days I'm like, yeah, like go back family, and then when I see other people, like I get annoyed. So yeah, I just am very curious to see how it grows or decreases in the future.
For sure. I think it'll always be here, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
just see more. I see more canceling. More people about to get canceled.
Yeah, I can see that.
But anywho, you have anything else to add?
I don't.
Alrighty, thank you all for joining us in this conversation about nepotism today. Feel free to drop your thoughts below, and thank you as always for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate the support. We seem to be making some traction on TikTok and some of our other social media platforms, and we're happy to see it. So, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.